Good afternoon. My name is Wayne Hilliard of the Real Estate Broker Group located in Carlsbad, California. I specialize in real estate in Marietta and Temecula, California. I want to summarize for you this afternoon a major federal case, antitrust case against the National Association of Realtors that was rendered in the last year, and the judgment was almost $500 million in favor of the plaintiffs. For many decades, the National Association of Realtors has implied and even required that sellers give a buyer's agent a compensation for their representing the buyer. And even on the MLS listing, there was a location where a listing agent had to put down the percentage that the seller would distribute to the buyer's agent at the distribution of funds when a home had been sold. Well, that had been rendered illegal, and it's no longer on any MLS documentation or enclosure of any signature or any compensation at all. What this antitrust ruling does, in a summational way, it puts all sovereignty in the hands of the seller. It protects their equity because it is their primary investment. It says that the seller has no obligation whatsoever to give any compensation to a buyer's representation, that fiduciary relationship must be entered into by the buyer, potential buyer, and the buyer's agent. Though what is going to happen is more litigation is going to come down. They are going to backdoor or attempt to backdoor this decision of the federal government by waiting for a negotiation process to get into the latter stages. And then the buyer will ask the seller for sweeteners or compensations that he can be the conduit to give to his representation. This is going to do nothing but invite more litigation. And I will tell you, the litigation will find this fraudulent behavior, and the NAR and regional boards are going to be held liable over and over again for this. I, as a realtor, I have sold commercial and residential real estate. I have been a teacher for many decades. I know contracts. I will represent you as the seller for 2 to 2.5% across the board based on the marketing that I do for you. And that will be all that you have to pay out at the point of sale. I will represent you for 2 to 2.5% commission. And you as the seller are not obligated to distribute any of your funds to any buyer's representation. This is going to save you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. For instance, if you live in my area, Riverside County, you have a $700,000 home, a typical 4% interest, you're paying out $28,000 of your equity. With the commission that I charge you, you will save $14,000 or more of your hard-earned equity in that home. Now, you might say to me, Larry, that sounds very good, but I have a nephew. The son of my sister he hasn't had a sale in a long time, and I want to throw him a couple of bones. Let me tell you what you should do. If you go with me and I sell your home, take the profits that you make, and out of the gratuity of your own heart, you can give your nephew, you can give your niece, you can give your son some of that proceeds out of the gratuity of your own heart. And that would be a way of throwing them some bones and giving them some largesse at a critical time of their life. In California, it is legal to have dual representation, and I've done this on many occasions. Dual representation, I represent both parties, and I would owe to them fiduciary relationship, but you as the seller are still not obligated to pay out a buyer's representation because I would be representing both parties. I say this again, my name is Wayne Hilliard. I specialize in Marietta, Temecula real estate. Give me a call, 951-816-8906, 951-816-8906. We can talk about why you want to move, the market, the climate. I know the trends in Marietta, Temecula. I've been a resident for over 20 years. I know the mobility. I know the fluidity of what's happening in the market. Again, my name is Wayne Hilliard. With the antitrust decision that has come down, you as the seller, all sovereignty rests in your hands, and you're not obligated to give compensation, sweeteners of any way to a buyer's agent, and that will save you your equity and your prime investment. I say to you, I say a Hebrew word as I leave you this afternoon, a wonderful word. It says, Shalom.